women. What's up? How y'all doing? It's Troy Leonardo here. Of course you know that, because why else would you be watching this video, right? I hope you guys are having a great day. Yesterday, I didn't go live because it was a very special moment. It was the first time that I stayed home with our youngest daughter. And that was just a wonderful time just to be alone with her and be able to share that time. My kids went to the circus for the first time. And fun fact, did you guys know that now at the circus they don't have any animals? Isn't that crazy? They don't have tigers, lions, no bears, no dogs. They said they had a robot dog, and everybody was like, if that thing comes over here, I'm gonna kick it. So yeah, no seals, no fake unicorns, no real unicorns. Yeah, isn't that crazy? So the circus that we grew up with is no more. It's gone. And they said that happened around 2020. And I blame PETA. So anytime you guys see somebody who's from PETA, make sure you wear your leather. And let them know, just because you like something doesn't mean you have to force it on everybody. Because you're ruining American culture. Hey, I guess people were saying that when people were getting rid of slaves, right? They're like, hey. Now just because y'all don't want y'all niggas don't mean I don't want mine. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. But I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys are making good decisions. We are at the precipice of a new day, a new era, and it is time for us to be aware of the fact that sometimes our plans suck. And in order to get out of your own way, sometimes you're blessed by, I'm getting a call. Hold on. Sometimes you're blessed to have things not go your way, i.e. me with the Paradox Band. I wanted to open for the Paradox Band. I thought it would be awesome. It would be a really beautiful thing. But sometimes it doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it ends up just being a situation where it would have stopped you from doing what you were supposed to be doing, right? So I'm really blessed for the fact that now I have more time to focus on my music and focus on creating the movie that I've been working on. I feel like the music and the video is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Hold on. It is what it is. Exactly. That is the energy. It is what it is. But it's just very necessary for us to have the patience and the understanding and peace of mind and body to understand, like, it's not gonna kill you. It might be for the best. So I've been trying to wrap my head around that process and that mindset, and not stressing myself around the fact that sometimes things don't go how you want them to go. They go how you need them to go. So I know that's not what we want to hear. We come up in this generation that says, like, things are supposed to work out, and there's people who make it from nothing and overnight successes, and the truth is there is no such thing as an overnight success. If you say overnight success, I say somebody who's been putting in the work and never getting the recognition. Because if anybody ever calls me an overnight success, I will be gobsmacked. Like, to you, it may be an overnight success. To me, I spent decades working on myself and improving myself and getting to the point to where I was good enough to where I had the confidence. And I feel like one of the biggest things is to get that confidence. And I keep saying feel. Yeah, I feel a lot of things. As an artist, I have feelings, and I'm very in tune with my feelings because they help me create. And some of you guys may say, you know what, you might be too emotional. It's true, but I feel like I believe a lot of artists are not emotional enough. They aren't in tune enough with their feelings to create authentic modes or authentic creations. I believe that we're consistently going out of our way to do things that are appeasing to other people. So I've been challenging myself. Another reason I wasn't live yesterday was because I had things to do. And I'm not going to be a slave to, oh, it's time to go live just because you got people like, what's his name, Jay Leno, and guys like that who just go live every single day. What's up? How you doing? I'm not just going to go live consistently just because the algorithm says, hey, you need to be going live in order to get likes. I feel like a lot of you guys have lives and y'all understand it's impractical to be going live every single day and still enjoying everything that you're doing. And some people say, if you're doing what you love every day, you never work a single day. That's a lie. That is from the baby boomer generation, and the baby boomer generation did nothing but spew lies and propaganda in order to get us to work so that we could take care of Social Security, which we're not going to be a part of. And then when we used to tell them, hey, we're not going to get Social Security, oh, that's a lie. Y'all going to get Social Security? Man, we are not going to touch Social Security. There's no way. They're just holding that carrot in front of us. But I believe that in order for us to be happy, it's going to change the way that it looks like when we work. It's going to change the way it looks when we're talking to one another. Hey, how y'all doing? Drive safe, brother. I know, right? I'm trying not to look at the camera too much. But it's also going to change the way that we interact with ourselves and our creativity. I believe when creativity gets stagnant, it shows itself in the economy and in the world first. So we have so many people who do the same thing, that they're not creating new business models, new options, which is what the whole economy is about. Capitalism is predicated on the fact that you create something good, other people can create modifications and variations to it in order to make it great. So I think it's very important that we're all aware of the fact that we're doing our best. This is a world that we haven't created, right? There's so many things that are out of our realm of creation. There was a whole generation, the baby boomers, that by the time they were in their 30s and 40s, they owned homes. And our generation, we're looking at it and we're like, there's no way that we're going to actually own a home. Now, paying off a home for 40 years, yeah, that's possible. But owning a home by the time you're 45, that's like, man, you have to have serious money, especially now when a home is $400,000, $500,000, and you're still right next to somebody and super close, and you have no space, you have no freedom. Another call. I just think that it's absolutely crucial for us to be creating what our new normal is. We have been neglected by a whole generation and force-fed into a system that didn't care about us and just wanted to use us as cattle for the fodder. So it's important for us to not allow the pressures to make us keep up with what we've been doing all this time, because we're not happy. Like, if you're really honest with yourself, like, what percentage of the people you know are doing jobs that they absolutely always wanted to do? We're doing 7 jobs, 3 jobs. We're working non-stop in order to try to survive. And I say that that's very commendable, but I also say it's a recipe for disaster. And it's a recipe for not being happy. So allow yourself to be free enough to say, you know what? I'm going to take an L for a little bit, but I'm going to work on what I love. And I say all that to say, I want to be y'all's champion for this, okay? I have a business, I have a job, and it makes good money. I'm fine with it. The thing is, I cannot allow my creativity and my passion to die because I'm worried about surviving. because the people around you will suffer. The world will suffer when they don't get your art. So I am going to make it my job, make it my life's work to create my movie and to create the music that goes with it and to create all the things that I've had in my mind's eye and I've been working on. There's so many performances that I've been doing, man. I've gone on world tours. I've performed in Florence and Venice and Paris, in Athens. I've performed in Istanbul and in Honduras. I performed in so many places and it was beautiful. But you know what? As I was doing those performances, one thing that always stopped me is the scale of what perfection was in my brain. I didn't want to post the videos because I didn't think they looked right. I didn't want to post the audio because I didn't think it sounded right. I didn't want to put the whole video out because I said, hey, it's not ready and I can make it better and I can make it better. The truth is, some of my favorite works of art have flaws and imperfections. It doesn't mean that I want to have imperfections. It means that I will accept the imperfections for the art, for the sake of the art being amazing. People love the Mona Lisa, and the Mona Lisa is still not complete in Leonardo's eyes, right? So I don't want to allow myself, or maybe the Mona Lisa is complete, and maybe it was his ode to artists, and it was his way of saying, hey, artist, I know you think that your art's not ready. I know that you think that it's never going to be done, so I'm going to take one of the greatest works of art of all time, the Mona Lisa, and I'm not even going to finish it. I'm going to let it stay imperfect so you can understand sometimes it's not about finishing your art. Sometimes it's about putting it out, allowing people to see it and enjoy it and respect the fact that it is a work of art that is still in process. And we are still in process. We have to have the understanding and the resilience and the forgiveness of ourselves to just know, hey, we're still works of art. I'm still a work in progress, and I'm not going to be perfect. And if you expect me to be perfect, just know I don't want to be perfect. Perfection is a goal that takes all the life out of the journey. And I am a proponent of taking the journey and enjoying every step of it. So that's why you see me going live while I'm driving. That's why you see me not making the perfect YouTube videos all the time, because I do videography. I know how to make a great video. The truth is, they're not necessary all the time. Sometimes it's all about an artistic vision. When I watch movies and cinema now, I don't watch it for perfection. I watch it for mistakes. The mistakes bring me comfort. It's like a blankie. Just knowing that the people who you love the most have moments where they're like, this isn't the best shot, but it was the shot. It got the idea across. So sometimes we're so hard on ourselves saying it's not what we want it to be. Hey, maybe it doesn't need to be what you want it to be in order to speak to other people. Maybe in order for it to be what other people need, it needs to be imperfect. It needs to have issues. It needs to have flaws and characteristics that make other people feel like they're a part of it. So I'm pleading to you guys to allow the art in you to live. Allow yourself to be imperfect. Allow yourself to be a work of art that's still in progress. Because while people are watching that, there's people who want to do what you do, and they feel like it's out of reach, it's impossible, it's improbable, because the scale of perfection has been so wide stretched. And I say, hey, it's possible to be perfect in your own way. Don't try to be Christopher Nolan when shooting the Odyssey. If I shot the Odyssey, I wouldn't shoot it in a way to where it looked grandiose. There are moments that are grandiose, but I would make it look very realistic. I would make it look like a battle. I would make the camera lens get old and corroded over the years. I would allow people to see the imperfections of the people there and see their war wounds and their scars and see how they change over a period of time. I feel like people glaze over that and they allow it to be a situation. This person cannot drive. They allow it to be a situation where they don't want it to show what really happens in war. They want it to look beautiful. I want people to see that life is not perfect, just like art. And art is a reflection of life. So I've always been a true Renaissance man, a Renaissance boy, and I want to make art that is like the Baroque era. In the Baroque era, they loved imperfection. If you see a Baroque pearl, you'll say, why is it askew? Why isn't it perfectly shaped? Why isn't it perfectly rounded? It's because it imitated the truth of life, which the truth of life is that everything isn't always perfect. Everything isn't going to be how you ideally would like it to be, which is how it was in the Renaissance, right? So sometimes you have people who have ugly jaws and ugly faces, and you need to show that. You need to be able to display that. And sometimes you do have beautiful people with no flaws. And so there are times to make it look like that. But don't romanticize the fact that you're going through a struggle. We're romanticizing the fact that we're working hard and we're working all these jobs and still barely being able to make it. We've been doing it on social media. We've been going through life trying to make people look at us and say, wow, I want to live that life. Even the people we follow, a lot of them aren't happy. Like, y'all love, what's that girl, Tiana Taylor? Man, we were watching her for all that time, talking about she's so beautiful. She's unhappy. Tiana Taylor and Iman, they ended up getting a divorce, and now he wants nothing to do with her. But everybody was talking about, oh yeah, she's so beautiful, all the things I would do to be with her. We're looking at these people and fantasizing about living their lives, but they don't like it. Kendall Jenner and Kim Kardashian and even Kanye West. It's like we love these people, but the truth is, they are not living the ideal life. How would y'all feel to be Kanye West and you create some of the best music in the world and people are always trying to cancel you? You know what I'm saying? You have created generations of people who love what you do, but you're still consistently under the threat of getting canceled. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's disrespectful, you know? And then you got a daughter, Northwest, who is being over-sexualized and saturated in a world that does not want her to just be a little girl. They want her to be a grown woman so that she can add to the legacy and the mystique of the Kardashians. And I think it's very important for us to see these things and realize everything that glitters is not gold, man. Like, you hear all of these stories about celebrities that we once all looked up to, and now we're saying, oh, I guess everything wasn't perfect over there. I guess it wasn't ideal for them. I guess they did have to go through some things. And we never want to realize it and take a second to say, well, thank God that's not me. You know, thank God I'm not Jim Carrey, because he went through a true awakening at a point in his life. Are you ready for that true awakening? Are you ready to be a beacon for other people? I don't think so. I think so many of us are comfortable with where we're at and comfortable with the dysfunction that we see because it makes us feel better. And we don't aspire to be better. So until we aspire to be great, we will see everything that's imperfect and say, oh, that's how things should be. Because greatness comes from authenticity. It comes from actuality. You know what I love about nature and about the mountains? If you've ever seen a set of mountains, the reason why mountains are perfect is because there is no perfect triangle mountain. But when we think of mountains, we think, oh, it's a triangle. It's like a triangle. That's what mountains are. It's like the pyramids. No, the pyramids are the only things that are absolutely perfect prisms. And so when you see that in nature, it stood as a beacon of hope that there was a possibility of perfection through the chaos. But now we're in an era where we need to be the beacons through the world to show that there is a beacon of hope for chaos that is in a world of fake perfection. All these girls with their fake hair. You don't have that hair, darling. It's okay though. If you're bald-headed, be bald-headed. There was a point in time that I was going bald. I was literally like losing all my hair, and it made me really stressed. I was just super stressed at the time, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to live my life. I didn't know if this was going to be my new life. I didn't know if it was going to be my new normal, and I was terrified. But you know what? My hair started growing back. And for so long, I was terrified, and then I was filled with joy and a realization that, you know, this too shall pass. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes you might go through traumatic things, because I understand how men feel who lost their hair and who go bald, because it is absolutely a traumatic thing when you're just losing your hair and you don't know what to do. So whenever I see bald men now, it makes me truly empathetic to their plight. It makes me understand that there was a time where I was consistently wearing hats, and I was trying to hide the fact that I was losing hair. It was just falling out in clumps. There was chunks of hair that were missing. So to all my bald brothers, just know I feel the pain, man. I feel your pain. I understand the will for keeps and Rogaine and just trying things just because you're scared, you know? And so I think that it's necessary for all of us to have an understanding that in the world that we live in, perfection is the goal, but perfection is not attainable. So allow yourself to be an imperfect gem. Allow yourself to be the masterpiece that you are, which is flawed. Okay, some of the most valuable stones in the world are more valuable before they're cut, because they're bigger. They're more reminiscent of the true nature of them, right? And then we try to modify them to what we believe they should look like. A princess cut, or, you know, we have our ideas of perfection, and the truth is everybody's idea of perfection is different. So allow yourself to be you with all the flaws. I hope you guys can see all the lines and bumps and pimples on my face, on my nose, and just know this is me, okay? This is who I am. This is who I want to be, all right? And if you don't like it, just know there's imperfections that you have, okay? And you want people to accept you for who you are. It's time for us to stop doing this whole lifestyle of the Ulta lifestyle, where everybody's putting on makeup on the things that don't look good to them and trying to make everything look perfect. This is who we are. This is what we look like. We're not perfect beings. We're not meant to be perfect. One of the most beautiful things about flowers is the fact that they get old, they get wilted, they start dying. Okay? So love who you are, love where you are on your journey, and love the fact that you're able to do the journey, because once you get sick, that's the first time that you really realize it's a blessing just to be able to be here and to try again. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I love y'all for being here and being a part of the crew. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Thank you for everybody who was here, everybody who commented, pinned that comment. Y'all be safe. Y'all stay out of trouble. Y'all love yourselves and love the people around you who are trying to create something. Make sure they know that you support them and that you're on their side. All right? Y'all be easy on yourselves. All right? And shine, 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 shine. Shine your light. Shine it in the dark. Y'all be safe.